Welcome to part 4 of our body armor series, How to Release Body Armor, a Gentle Approach. So let's review the release process together. Your body armor didn't form overnight, and it won't release overnight either. When muscles chronically brace, they create a literal cross-hatching of connective tissue fibers that overlay and actually form adhesions. Adhesions form when there's inflammation in the connective tissue, and they prevent tissues from gliding smoothly past each other. This limits movement, cell-to-cell communication between muscles and nerves, and overall flexibility. It leaves you feeling stuck. So they also appear to trap unresolved, unconscious memories of past conflicts or stressful experiences. So when you gently free up these armored segments, you're not just restoring physical mobility, you're also creating space for trapped emotions and memories to surface and resolve naturally. So the goal isn't to force anything to release, but to create conditions where your body feels safe enough to soften and let go of these chronic neuromuscular tension patterns. Before I demonstrate the gentle release techniques, let's review these essential safety guidelines. So before you begin, these aren't just suggestions, they're crucial for safe and effective armor release. So number 1, honor your starting point. Use your body armor self-assessment results to choose where to begin. So option A is start with your highest scoring area. So that's the most armored area, and that will give you the most direct impact. Option B is to begin with your lowest scoring area to build confidence gradually in the process. So there's no right or wrong choice, just trust your instincts. Number 2 is to embrace the easy does it principle, because uncomfortable physical and emotional sensations are expected and normal. But if it's painful or overwhelming, don't try to push through it because you'll only feel worse. Remember, your pace is the right pace, period. So honor your pace. Number 3 is you're in full control of the process. You can skip, modify, pause, or stop any technique at any time. No technique is mandatory. Your body's wisdom overrides any of my instructions. So if something doesn't feel right, just trust that feeling completely. And number 4, I want you to cultivate curious awareness as you go through the release process. So you notice your thoughts, sensations, and feelings without judgment. And just observe what arises like a compassionate scientist. Let sensations move through you rather than trying to control them. And remember, you're not trying to fix anything. You're just creating space for natural healing to occur. So it's vital to understand when to stop and reset your nervous system state. So here's the immediate pause signals. If you're having too much emotional intensity come up, or you have some kind of pain, if you're feeling dizzy, nauseous, or disoriented, or experience a sense of panic or being flooded with emotions. So here's some things you can do to reset. Go and take a walk. Allow your body to shake. Do some stretching. You can ground with your feet, or you can even lie with your body on the floor to really get the sense of the earth supporting you. Process. You can draw or doodle, or you can write about what you experience. And then there's time. Just stop and try it another day. So I'm going to give you a brief demonstration. We're going to do a little run through of how to use your hands as vibration tools to begin to open and soften the long-held tension areas or segments in your torso and your head and your neck where you may be holding body armor. So using our hands as percussion tools, we're going to work with the property of piezoelectric activity that your connective tissue is capable of using. We are creating vibration with our hands. That vibration is picked up by the connective tissue and begins to improve flow through the area. It recharges your body's electrical system. It creates micro vibrations to soften the connective tissue patterns. And it actually, when we do this in a rhythmic way, it sends a signal to your body that it's safe to let go. So, how to tap? For the lower body in this area here, we're going to use our cupped hands. So, here's a straight hand, and here's a cupped hand. Just imagine if you were going to scoop water out of a bowl or the bathtub, and you could actually hold a little bit of water in your hand. So, that's the position that we want to use. The pressure is very light to moderate. Think about the pressure you would use if you were just tapping on a baby's back. It's not a lot of pressure, right? So you want to keep your fingers relaxed and slightly separated so you're not creating more tension in your hands as you do this. And if you are leaving marks as you're doing this on your skin, then you're using too much force. And remember that the vibration matters more than the actual force that we put into the effort. So you want to find a pace that feels comfortable and relaxing to you, so you'll be actually finding your own rhythm. So I am going to begin to demonstrate on the thigh. If you want to take a seat and just practice this like kind of run through session, you'll get a sense of what it feels like when you actually create vibration into your connective tissue. So again, using the cupped hands, I'm actually going to use both hands on one thigh because I think I'll get more vibration that way. And again, I'm going to just begin by a gentle cupping, and I'm going to run over the surface of my thigh. And as you do that, find your rhythm, find what feels comfortable, find the amount of, kind of explore what is the amount of pressure that you find to be comfortable. And so then if I stop and I compare one leg to the other, I can feel a lot of activity in here. So that's what you want to be able to notice as you're doing this, that you have created your vibration with this gentle tapping technique that is going to be picked up by your connective tissue, and it's going to actually create a fluid flow and a fluid exchange through your whole body. To address and release the segments, we are going to follow a certain strategy. We're going to work from the bottom up. So this is a way to work with your natural pathways of energy flow. So from the pelvic foundation, we'll work that together with the abdominal area. So that's the first and second chakras will be together. The diaphragmatic center is like the most crucial segment. We'll work that independent of the other two. And then the heart shield, we can work the chest and the shoulders together. We can work the throat areas and the jaw, this whole area together as one piece. And then we will work the sixth and seventh chakras together. So now I will demonstrate how to release segments 1 and 2, the pelvic foundation and the emotional center. So the target areas are the pelvis, the lower abdomen, which is that area between your navel and your pubic symphysis, so it's through here. And also it continues along the back from your S1 joint to your tailbone. So you want to start by standing with your legs about hip width apart, slightly bend your knees so you relax, but you also have this stability. And you want to just breathe naturally as you do this. And so let's begin with the front of the pelvis. So you're going to, again, use that cupped hand position and begin to start just tapping. And I'm going to start like from the top of the pubic symphysis, and I'm going to just come up toward my navel. And then I'm going to begin to tap across from midline to the sides of each hip and back again. And so by doing this and using this hand position, I'm able to address both segments at once. And you notice I'm doing just a light, gentle, rhythmic percussion here to create vibration along these segments. And then I'm going to move my hands to the side and then to the back of my sacrum. And I'm actually going to just turn my hands over, and I'm going to sort of keep that cup position, but I'm going to just gently tap with the back of my hands down the center, like from my sacrum, the SI joint, down toward the tailbone and back up. And then I'm going to go across my back, just gently stimulating that area with percussion, allowing vibrations to build. And sometimes you can even just reach around with one hand at a time, slightly cupped, just to create that vibration. And I'm going to just do it in different areas. Find what feels comfortable for you. So as you're doing this, you can choose a healing affirmation, such as, I flow with natural grace and ease. I am secure and protected in my body. I find joy and delight in simply being alive. I am worthy of happiness and abundance. Or you can say something out loud that reflects your own truth. So now you can stop tapping and see if you can feel a very subtle vibration through this area. You may notice warmth or tingling in your pelvis or even your legs. There might be some adjustments that you noticed as you were doing that in your hips. Emotions related to safety, sexuality, or early life experiences can be locked into this area. So if you notice anything like that come up, you might do some journaling around it. Sometimes you may even notice like a temporary shaking going on, which is really just your nervous system beginning to let go of those tension patterns. So now I will demonstrate how to release the power center, the third chakra, or we could also call it the diaphragmatic segment. So the target area is the solar plexus, which is just below the sternum, the xiphoid process of your sternum here. It follows along your lower ribs, and it's just kind of this area from your navel up to your ribs. So in the front, it's this section here, and it follows along in the back across your low back space. So you can do this sitting or standing, whatever's most comfortable. I think it's better to demonstrate if I'm standing. So you kind of give an idea how to do this. And if you're comfortable with it, you can expose your torso so that your hands are right on your skin. I'm going to leave my shirt on for obvious reasons. So let's begin the tapping sequence. So we're going to tap between the bottom of our ribs. Remember, create that cupped hand position and just begin to sort of tap from, I'm going to start from center and out, and I'm going to come in and kind of feel this area. I might use both hands on one side. That actually creates a deeper vibration than just one hand at a time. So our solar plexus is considered to be the center of our personal power. And when we lose that, we kind of lose a sense of ourselves. But the solar plexus becomes locked up very early in a person's life and development. So we want to give it special attention. You want to also begin tapping in around your ribs. And then you can remember how you can use the back of your hand by kind of keeping the cup position and creating some percussion on your back to engage your connective tissue, get that vibration moving through all the soft tissue. And then come around to the front again. And as you do this, you might actually think about the following affirmations. You could say something like, I acknowledge my inner strength and wisdom. I value and appreciate myself and those around me. I commit to my decisions and follow through with confidence. I choose my path and walk it with a clear purpose. Or maybe there's another statement you'd like to make, and go ahead and say that out loud now as you continue to tap on this area. So as you do this, you might notice more warmth coming through this segment. You might feel some changes in your breath or your rhythm. Some emotions or thoughts related to personal power, control, or childhood authority figures might come up as you do this. And you might even notice that it creates a spontaneous sigh, or maybe a sound comes up as your body begins to release this area. So now that you come to a stop, then see if you can sense into the vibration and the aliveness that started lower in the body and is continuing up. And you might even feel it in your legs moving down toward your feet. So now I'll demonstrate how to open up the thoracic area, which is considered our heart shield, and our shoulders. So the target areas are chest, shoulders, and upper back. So you want to stand with your arms relaxed at your side. Keep your shoulders soft so your shoulders aren't up here towards your ears. You want to allow your chest to be open, receptive as you do this. And we'll just follow this sequence of tapping. So here you can use your cupped hand. I also like to bring all my fingers together like this and create a little tapping with multiple fingertips. That is also very powerful in sending vibration through the bones. So we want to begin to tap along the sternum, and this is the breastbone, from the top to the bottom. So here I'm going to be using my fingers together, and I'm going to just begin to tap this area. And I'm going to allow my breath to be easy, natural. And I'm using gentle, loving pressure. I'm also going to move along the base of my neck, or along my clavicles. To get the vibration moving through the connective tissue and the bone. Then as you include this, you can include now your pecs. And if you want to change to the cupped hand, go ahead and do that. And then you want to tap across both of your shoulders. You can come down into your biceps, deltoid area. And then I want to integrate the front and the back of my torso. So I'm going to actually use the back of my hand again, and I'm going to come up into the mid torso there and tap back and forth, and just allow that vibration to move through my chest. And you could even kind of swing a little bit like this. One hand on the shoulders, the other hand on the mid back, just to get a little integration there. And now I'm going to add in the affirmations for this area. So as you continue to tap, you can say this along with me if you like. I treat myself and others with loving care. I welcome all parts of myself without judgment. I let go of old hurts and move forward freely. I choose to heal by releasing what no longer serves me. Or perhaps there's a personal truth you'd like to speak out loud. So please do that at this time as you continue to tap. And then as you come to a still place again, after you've stopped tapping, notice, can you sense the vibration moving through your chest? Just take a breath in and out, and notice, is there a little bit more expansion through your rib cage? So we could actually give our ribs a little bit more attention by coming with the fingertips together, coming in the area around your back of your arm and into the sides of your ribs. So see what that feels like when you add that in. So just notice if you feel like your breath is more at ease. If when you breathe, you have a little more expansion within your rib cage. Sometimes you might have some emotional feelings come up, love, loss, or relationships. Sometimes you can even have sadness come up, because this is also the area of the lungs. And we know the lungs relate to grief. So whatever it is you're feeling, just take it in. It's helpful if you can go and write down in a journal as to what your experience was. And as you do this on a regular basis, you will notice change. at a very significant level. So now I will demonstrate the voice guardian segment. This is your throat and your jawline. So the areas, again, are the neck, jaw, throat, and even your upper lip. So you want to sit or stand comfortably. I'm going to be standing for this demonstration because I feel like I can teach it better standing. And you want to keep your jaw relaxed. So I'm going to be speaking, so I know my jaw won't be as relaxed as it could be if I were not speaking. But just allow your jaw to just drop open just a tiny bit. So it drops away from your TMJ joint. And you want to think about lengthening your neck and your spine as if you had a string attached to the top of your head and was just kind of aligning you vertically. So we're going to begin with the neck on the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So this is that large muscle that attaches here behind your ear and down into your collarbone. And we hold a lot of tension here. So I'm going to actually use 3 of my fingertips, including my thumbs, to come and tap on this area. And you can just follow it up right behind the ear and then down to the clavicle. And now I'm just going to use my fingertips without my thumb to begin to tap this area. So the most gentle pressure you can find, try using that because this area really is sensitive and we do have some chronic holding here typically. So the more tender you are in your tap, the less guarded the muscle will be and the connective tissue. And then you want to begin tapping along your entire jawline. So you can begin here at your TMJ joint, move down and tap along the jawline to your chin and back and forth. I'm going to come down the sternocleidomastoid muscle again and along my jawline. And I'm going to finish with this expression point here it's midway between the upper lip and the nose. And as I tap that, I'm going to say these affirmations. This is the acupuncture or acupressure point for self-expression. I communicate with genuine honesty and openness. I speak my truth and purpose with clarity. I remain authentic as to who I am, and I deserve to voice what is real and honest for me. Or speak your own truth as you tap. So as you're tapping along your sternocleidomastoid, the neck muscles, your jaw, your TMJ area, you may notice that you have an urge to yawn or to swallow or clear your throat as this area begins to open up and expand. Some of the emotions you might experience are related to communication, being heard, and self-expression. Sometimes you might even notice that your voice changes a little bit after doing this, or that you have sensations inside your throat. So all of that is just fine. It's just a response to the intervention of tapping. You may even have memories of times that you were prevented from speaking your own truth. And I know that's true for most of us. So just stay aware of what comes up for you as you do the clearing of the throat and the jaw, this expression or the voice area. So now I will demonstrate how to release segments 6 and 7, which relate to the awareness center, which includes our eyes and the crown of our head, our temples, our scalp, and the base of our skull. So you want to sit comfortably to have easier access to your head. And you can soften your eye gaze or even close your eyes as you do this, but you'll want to watch for this demonstration before you do that. So if you want to soften your eyes and just follow my directions, please do that. So for this, I'm going to use 2 fingers and also the fingertip together where thumbs and fingers come together to tap this area because it's just too small to use the cupped hand. So we want to begin with the orbit of the eye, and we're just gently going to tap around. So I'm just going to use my 2 fingers here, and I'm just going to follow my eyebrows and come around the whole orbit of my eye up to the bridge of my nose and around. And this is just a very gentle tapping. As you do this, you can change direction. Just notice what that feels like as you begin to open your eye area. So you're following the bone structure around your eye sockets. And this feels very relaxing. The next place to tap would be your temples. So again, just using 2 fingers, gently tap this area between the end of your eyebrow and the beginning of your scalp. So these are your temple areas. And then moving to the crown or the chakra, and tap the top of your head. This is the crown area. And move along the midline of your scalp from the front of your hairline to the back. So I'm using all my fingertips except my thumb to do this. Using gentle percussion. And then I'm going to come up to the base of my skull and begin tapping there also. And again, these are just my fingertips doing the skull base here. And as you're doing this tapping, the affirmations that you might like to speak out loud are, I trust the wisdom that flows through me. I see through illusions to what is truly real. My clear intention takes form in the world. I am a conscious creator of my reality. Or you can speak something that aligns with your own truth. So as you do this, you will notice there might be some changes in your vision or your visual clarity. You could have a mild headache from the pressure, which is going to be temporary and normal. I feel a lot of sensation in my head right now. This may open you up to more spiritual or transcendent thoughts and feelings. Memories or insights, beliefs, perspective, and life purpose may also arise. So again, there's the value of journaling about your experience so that you can go back to it and reflect on what you discovered.